Okay, but I gotta say, my favorite artifact of all time that I've ever heard of, like an actual artifact that is like an actual real life myth, like not talking about Warhammer, talking about real life. Favorite story of an artifact or mystic object I've ever heard, ever. And I personally think that for the last Indiana Jones movie, instead of going for like that whole like Greek mechanical thing, nah, nah. Instead of going for the Greek mechanical timey wimey stuff, nah, they should have gone for this, like the fake out from the holy spear to the time thing. No, no, should have gone with this instead. What I'm talking about, what I'm talking about right now is, like, I'm talking about nothing short of the holy prepuce or the holy foreskin. Because Jesus was Jewish, right? And a lot of Jews practice circumcision, especially back then. It was no different in his time. That was the standard. So he would have been circumcised, right? Which means his foreskin would be around somewhere. And according to several churches, his foreskin has remained intact, and some even claim that they have it, that they have a piece of his willy. And it is, I actually, like, I've pulled up the wiki. I will, here, let me show you it. All right, so I'm not making this up. There is a whole wiki page to this shit, and this is the funniest holy artifact because you get a lot of like artifacts where it's like, of course people are gonna claim that they have it, or of course that's gonna be a thing that people are gonna claim is significant. Like, oh yeah, there's a holy grail because last cup he drank out of. So that was a whole thing. Like, oh yeah, the spear that stabbed him, because that was the thing that was really brought up in the story. Or like, oh, a piece of the cross, which a lot of, like, I think there's a church in Spain that claims to have a piece of the original cross, which, if I'm being honest, I'm pretty sure all the pieces of the original cross probably would have been rotted away long by now. Like, I'm not sure what the Romans did with the crosses once they took the dead guy off of them. Actually, I think they probably just nailed another dead guy to him. So I'm really not certain how you keep track of what guy was nailed to and then taken off of the slab of wood. But like, this one is interesting because it meant that somewhere, sometime, like some guy just had to sit down and think, wait a second, what happened to this motherfucker's foreskin? And I mean, history and rival claims here, as you can see. Like, first reference to the gospel of his severed foreskin comes in the second chapter of the apocryphal Arabic infancy gospel, which contains the following story. When the time of his circumcision was come, namely the 8th day, which the law commanded the child be circumcised, they circumcised him in a cave. The old Hebrew woman took the foreskin and preserved it in an alabaster box of old oil of spikenard. What the fuck's spikenard? aromatic essential oil. Okay, so like some preservative. Had a son who was a druggist. Take heed, thou sell not this alabaster box of spikenard ointment, though thou should be offered 300 pence for it. Yo, don't sell this foreskin. It's fucking important, homie. Which Mary the sinner procured. Wait. Mary the sinner is in the same Mary that washed his feet? This is like, I've known of this for a long time. I've brought it up as a fun fact to people before. Like, my friends have actually told me, like, bro, shut the fuck up about the holy foreskin. On numerous occasions, actually. But, like, Mary the sinner, as in the one who washed Jesus' feet? Sorry. One more art that I should have included. She was the one that... Wait, was she the one who... Yeah. Yeah, this is the same one in the... Who anoints his feet. Wait, so what the fuck is this addition to the lore? This is a fucking wild addition. Wait. So it's claiming that apparently, according to the first mention of this, it was stored in a box, but apparently that box is the same one that was used to pour ointment on Jesus' head. That's a weird fucking full circle. And foreskin relics began appearing in Europe during the Middle Ages. I mean, you'd think, really, if the foreskin even lasted that long without, I don't know, someone just letting the intrusive thoughts win and just eating it. You'd think, like, someone would get it who didn't get the memo. It's just like, oh, cool. A foreskin. So, like, I doubt the legitimacy of any church that claims, oh, we have the foreskin. I doubt it. Earliest sighting came in December 25th, 800. When Charlemagne, the Charlemagne himself, gave it to Pope Leo III when being crowned emperor. And then been brought to him by an angel. An angel while he was praying at the Holy Sepulchre. Oh my god. I knew this was a fucking thing, and it's been a favorite fun fact of mine for so long. But I didn't realize the fucking lore on this shit ran so fucking deep. So, famous emperor gave a supposed holy foreskin to the Pope when being crowned emperor because apparently it was brought to him by an angel at one of the most holy sites for Christianity in Jerusalem. But some reports say it was a gift from the Byzantine Empress. This flare is said to be confirmed by a vision of a saint who confirmed that was from someone in Rome. What the actual fuck? Oh my gosh. One of the caskets contained gold. In this cross of the floor. Like, did anybody ever break open the cross to see, alright, do we have a motherfucking foreskin in this son of a bitch? One of the caskets contained a gold jewel cross. The document saying that the cross was in the foreskin. What the fuck? And apparently, it got looted in the sack of Rome. The German soldier who stole it was captured in the village of Calcutta, 29 miles north of Rome, later the same year. And it was venerated from that time onwards, with the church vouching for its authenticity by offering a 10-year indulgence to pilgrims. I think there was a fellow named Martin Luther who took issue with this kind of thing. Must-see destination because of it became a must-see destination because of the motherfucking foreskin. However, 1905, Pope Pius X, I believe, X is 10, right, authorized an inventory compiled by Professor Hartmann Grissar, not quite sure how to pronounce that, of the University of Innsbruck. His report corresponds to earlier, not even going to try and pronounce this. Gold cross was dated between the 6th and 8th centuries. Stated that, like Pope Pascal's Nanel Silver Ochre cross, the cross was clearly initially designed to hold a relic of the true cross. But a relic of the true cross is nothing compared to a piece of the weenie of Christ. God, what the fuck? This is further supported by the statement in the Descriptio relating it to a procession on the feast of the exaltation of the Holy Cross. The actual fuck. There is some crazy claims about this shit. Fuck. According to depending on what you read, there were 8, 12, 14, or even 18 different holy foreskins in various European towns during the Middle Ages. In addition to the one in Rome, there was supposedly one in northwest Spain, Belgium, northern France, another one in France, eastern France, northeast France. Damn, like, if you gather this shit like the fucking Dragon Balls, does that cure erectile dysfunction or some shit? Like, I wish to be able to get hard again is just poof. Germany, France. What's the fuck with France and claiming to have pieces of Jesus's penis? Southern France, northeastern France, northwestern France, and 2 in the center of France. Most famous. One of the most famous of these arrived in Antwerp, in Brabant, in 1100 as a gift from the King of Jerusalem, who purchased it in the Holy Land during the First Crusade. Oh my god, what the fuck? Famous one, the Bishop of Cambrai, during the celebration of the Mass, saw 3 drops of blood blotting the limits of an altar. Ah, fresh as the day it was cut. Which became the goal of pilgrimages. Like, I need you to understand something. Pilgrimages were not undertaken lightly. You had to take a long trip, and that trip required carrying a certain level of money, so there's always a risk of being brutalized and murdered by bandits, being attacked by, I don't know, maybe a wild animal or something or another, or just an accident happening, and there's a fairly good extent of relying on the goodwill of others. And what is it that you're risking your life for? What is it that you're risking your life for? So you're risking your life so you can go see a supposed piece of the penis of a Jewish carpenter. People, I guarantee you, people died trying to see this shit. People died trying to see this shit. It's 24 members. Were all abbots and prominent laymen. The relic disappeared around 500 years ago, but the chapel still exists. You can visit a chapel that once held Jesus' willy. Foreskin was presented to the monks by Charlemagne. It's taken in procession to Rome, where it was presented to Pope Innocent III. Wait a second, wasn't one of the Pope Innocents a really fucked up dude? Yeah, I think this might have been the really awful dude. Or, well, I know one of the Pope Innocents was not an innocent man. And suppression of heresy. Yeah, I let's see, yeah, I think this may have been the guy. Oh, wait. Yeah, the ancients would supply vessels and supplies. In return, the Crusaders would pay a certain amount of money. He gave approval on two conditions. Some Pope must accompany the crusade. Attack on any other Christian was forbidden. French failed to raise the funds. As a result, the Crusaders diverted the crusade to the Christian city of Zadar at the will of the Venetians. So yeah, we can't. So like Pope says, all right, guys, don't attack other Christians. The French can't pay their shit. So the Venetians say, okay, then just beat the shit out of these guys, who are also Christians, to subsidize the debt. Without the consent of the threatened excommunication. Oh yeah, this is the guy that did shit at fucking organizing a crusade. And attacked Zadar. He tried to get him not to, but they did anyways. They were excommunicated, but he took back the excommunication so they could go on the crusade. A second diversion then occurred when the Crusaders decided to conquer Constantinople. At the behest of the exiled Byzantine prince. This again happened without any knowledge or consent by Innocent III. And he didn't know about this shit until it had already been plotted. Holy shit, this guy's terrible at organizing things. Oh yeah, this is exactly the fucking guy that I thought it was. Oh, good shit. So he declined the authenticity of this. Well, he didn't rule on the authenticity of it. Ooh, and at some point somebody stole it. A worksman repairing the abbey claimed to have found a reliquary containing the missing foreskin. Modern practices. Most of the holy prepuces were lost or destroyed during the Reformation and the French Revolution. Makes sense. Most of them were in France. Oh dear. Oh dear goodness. We must destroy the monarchy and the preserve tip of the wee wee. Oh, I mean, gosh. I mean, if you had that shit, do you think it could work like, you know, the Ire Hand of Vecna? Where, you know, you cut off the relevant body part, then you put that on in its stead, and you gain special powers, which is why, circling back to my beginning of this whole shtick, should have been the relic that Indy was searching for in, like, the most recent, the 5th Indiana Jones iteration. And, like, the thing is, instead of his son being iceboxed for, like, his marriage to fall apart, no, his marriage could fall apart because he's not able to pull hard on. But if he puts on the foreskin of Christ, if he puts on the holy prepuce, then he can pull a hard on again. And that will be the whole premise. But, like, if you're a chick and you want it, would you just slap that and you want the power of the holy foreskin? Do you just slap it on your, like, vagina? If you slap it on your vagina, if you just slap it on, do you grow a penis to accommodate it? Would that be a whole nother quest? To grow a penis so you can circumcise it? So you can slap on the holy foreskin? Is that what you'd have to do? So anyways, back to video games.